Hi, you clicked on this video for a good reason. We're going to talk about being narcissistic, or if you're dating somebody, or you know somebody, or you are a narcissistic, or you've been labeled one. I made it my dedication not to talk about this in my channel, but now I am. So stay tuned and keep watching. Hi, if you don't know who I am, I'm Sindy V King. I'm a creator of Calling My King. I help transform women to create lasting love through Vedic astrology, neuroscience, and transactional analysis so that she becomes the queen of love. The reason why I specifically was avoiding talking about this because labeling somebody a narcissistic could be very detrimental, and as well, if you're properly not diagnosing somebody correctly and labeling that, it could be very long-term damage to yourself and to others as well. So I want to specifically talk about this. There's a lot of what you call an expert today. They're an expert of narcissistic, but really has very little information or understanding of it. It took me some time just going through some academic learning as well. And if you guys all have seen this either in your therapist or counseling office, or if you're currently using this, I do have pros and cons of this. The pros, there's a lot of signs and symptoms that you can diagnose somebody. The only problem I have it if you're not looking exactly how are you diagnosing it and improperly diagnosing somebody based on signs and because there's a lot of gray areas in this, I find in this book. And so that's a problem for me. If you're not looking, how are you properly diagnosing? And I'm talking about if you're not looking into only behavior, but really if there's a deadly bleeding, for example, and if you're not looking and you're saying, oh, they have a deadly bleeding, how do you properly diagnose somebody like that and just call it out that day? I honestly am against that. So I like diagnosing either a SPECT image or MRI or ENG. Those are the things that you can diagnose, and it could be anything from eating disorder or body image issue or even anxiety or ADHD or ADD. There's so many topics out there, but narcissistic is one of the popular ones out there. And I want to really make a disclaimer that if you are an expert saying that, you need to be able to diagnose somebody looking through a brain scan. I think that's really key, and properly having those diagnosed. I know there's a lot of therapists and even EMDRs that I have worked with in the past and is in a group session as well. Notice that we need to be diagnosing through imaging. If we're not looking, how do we know our proper diagnosing? So there's a lot of experts out there. There's neuropsychologists that could do that, or somebody anything in neural. So you're looking into the diagnosis. You're not just like, oh, this is what they have, or even a counselor or a therapist. So I really want to make that vital. So the things that you either can learn about in this video is, number one, not labeling somebody too soon, too quickly, because it could be detrimental and you could have the wrong information. So when you're labeling somebody, it could hurt them in the long term. That's the first off. Second off, if you are experiencing some sort of abuse, be mindful to get yourself help. And I think there's so many sort of resources out there. I will be talking about on my channel eventually EMDR, and you can research about it. I have a great resource of information about it. So I'll link a few books if that's something that you're very curious about. EMDR, getting support yourself, getting away from the drama triangle, and getting away from the victim or the rescue, trying to figure that out, or the other position as well. So I think that's really vital, important about if you are either a victim or you are narcissistic or any sort of those things. I think it's really vital to get yourself help first. And that's where it started off with anybody. So if you feel like you're struggling with dating or understanding about how to identify narcissistic or anything like that, I think anything in the real world, what I have seen through my clients is getting the healing that you need so that you don't become the victim, if that makes any sense. It doesn't matter what type of disorder that you might experience or coming from this book especially. Like I said, I have pros and disadvantages of this. So psychology is one thing, but psychiatry is another thing, and especially it's neural. If they're experiencing something sort of chemical imbalance, I want to remove the whole idea of labeling somebody, and if they need that support, checking out their brain health. We want to move away from the whole idea of mental health. It's all about brain health. If you're doing too much drugs, alcohol, that will be effects as well. Caffeine will be effect. Food is effect as well. Sleeping will affect your brain as well. There's so many things that can. Lighting can affect your brain as well. So I really want to stress out today the idea about either if you have dated a narcissistic, I think it's about getting healing for yourself, and it's not about the other person, it's about you at the end of the day, so that you can either have stronger boundary, being clear, your anxiety is a little bit calmer, you're not producing too much cortisol for your body that it's not healthy for your body and for yourself as well. So you're not going into the fight or flight stage. And I think that's really vital that I want you to take away from this video. If you find this video very beneficial, share it with your other friends or any expert as well, because I really want them to challenge the idea about diagnosing by looking brain image instead of like diagnosing either a sign and then symptoms and that's it, and then being in the victim mode. And I just want you to get away from that, because it's very toxic in the long term as well. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I have a whole bunch of videos that you can watch as well. There are lots of fun videos that either you can start dating or trying to self-discover yourself, or just trying to rekindle your relationship. Whatever stage that you have, I have a great support group at the very bottom as well. And if you're into astrology, I got great videos for that as well. So I will see you in the next video, and thanks for watching. Bye now. Look, if you're serious about being fearless in love and ready to be treated like a queen, links is down below to book a time. I got over 100 videos on YouTube, and I post new videos every week. So make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button. You get notified when new videos goes live. If your friend is actually stuck in love, share and like my video. I do take requests on topics and answer your burning question about your relationship. So just leave a comment down below. Otherwise, see you in the next video.